As I said in my video that I posted yesterday, today was the day that we would get the client-side update, preparing us for Chapter 4. And yesterday, the full patch notes for this update were published. And in this video, I want to go through the most notable patch notes out of these with you, so that you are prepared and you know that what has changed, so that you can maybe even somewhat swap out your loadout depending on that. At first, the patch notes start off with some vehicle fixes. There's nothing all too interesting between those, but I must say that there is one unlisted vehicle change, which is whenever you want to select a vehicle, you don't have the option to choose out of 3 out of your selected vehicles anymore, but you can select all of the vehicles that you have unlocked up to that point. Both ground vehicles like tanks and planes, you are now able to choose whichever plane you want to use without having to change your loadout for it. Next are the weapon, gadget and specialization fixes, which is mostly on the boys AT rifle that we got a while back, of which now has been changed that the magazine, the rifle magazine, contains 5 plus 1 bullets, so 5 bullets in the magazine and 1 chambered. Another fact that came to the boys AT rifle was that with a medium range scope, now it will correctly show the scope glint. And a bigger change to bipods is that bipods will now deploy and undeploy with better response. In previous cases, the game checked whether the bipod should deploy or undeploy every 0.3 seconds, which now has been changed to 0.1 seconds. So bipod deploying and undeploying should be more reliable. Coming up next are a fair amount of changes or updates to medical and ammo crates. A while back we saw that Battlefield had changed this so that whenever you are using a medical or ammo crate, people will be able to somewhat grab medic pouches and ammo pouches out of your bag. Further changes to these now include that players that have selected the medical crate or ammo crate can be seen holding it in one hand when viewed in third person, but they've also adjusted the medical crate's healing radius to 4 meters when deployed and carried. And the medical crate owner is awarded healing score when the crate's aura heals friendly players. In the same way that these changes came through for the medical crate, the ammo crate has also been changed. When deployed or selected, the ammo crate will resupply your teammates' primary and secondary ammo within a 4 meter radius, and it will also give scores similar to how they changed the medical crate. Adding on to that, the ammo crate owner earns resupply score when the crate's aura resupplies friendly players. And ammo and medical crates now collide with vehicles, which means that when you have a crate equipped in your inventory, you can place it on top of vehicles, and the crate will remain in place when driving around. As they say themselves in the patch notes, the Hillmobile has returned. Coming up next are some massive nerfs overall to AP mines that you can use, for example with the Recon class, because the explosion delay after activation has been increased to 1 second from 0.0 seconds, which now means that it almost takes 50% longer for it to explode. However, the activation radius has been increased by 20%, so if at the first case you would be further away from the mine, you then wouldn't get hit, but now you would. The blast radius size has also been increased to 7 meters from 6 meters to align with activation delay, and max damage in blast radius has been increased to 1.5 meters from 1 meter. So all of these 3 changes now are somewhat buffs just to counter the massive nerf that it got from the explosion delay. The explosion blast also will occur now within an upwards facing half sphere that spawns 0.8 meters above the ground instead of a full radius. And players will be able to avoid blast damage from the AP mine if they manage to go prone in time. Going from sprinting to prone is less likely to allow this player to survive, as the transition is longer than a simple stand to prone. So since the explosion blast now is more facing upwards, if you are prone, you are somewhat safe from the blast damage that you otherwise would receive from this AP mine. Another nerf to the AP mines is that the max amount of placeable AP mines has been reduced to 2 from 3. And the minimum distance between deployed AP mines has been increased to 3.6 meters, which first was 0.7, which is a massive amount now. That's more than 5 times the distance between deployed AP mines that it was before, which in my opinion is a somewhat massive nerf. I myself never use AP mines, but if you are using them, it would be wise to consider switching them off. It is also noted that deployed AP mines are now unspawned 1 second after the player dies and moves to the spawn screen or parrot cam, so the top view cam of the map, and moving while prone or crouched, but not crouched sprinting, will not trigger the AP mine in some scenarios. The PIAT also got some noticeable changes, being that the one-shot kill radius against infantry has been reduced to 0.25 meters, and the splash damage now deals a minimum of 55 damage against infantry up to 3 meters. And another assault gadget being changed is the rifle grenade launcher, which now has a maximum blast damage reduced to 80 from 100, and the blast radius increased to 5 meters from 4 meters to counter this blast damage change. Here they also say that quick thinking players will be able to throw back the weapon's grenade, and the grenade projectile is now also represented as a grenade icon on the battlefield, just like the frag grenade is. The anti-tank, the AT grenade pistol, has had a slight nerf, nothing too big. It's just that the damage on impact against infantry has been lowered from 100 to 98, making it so that infantry is less likely to die instantly from an AT grenade pistol shot. With some other weapon fixes, there's one that I myself really like, which is that the MG34 now applies skins properly on the magazine if the double drum magazine specialization is selected. I myself was really bothering about that one point, that when you had a skin, I myself love the min skins, so I was using those, that the drum magazine wouldn't change with it. And even though that this is a small change, I'm really happy with it. Overall, the soldier fixes aren't too interesting, but some big changes that most people will like, I think, will be that the distance at which downed players can be notified of incoming medics has increased from 25 to 50 meters when saying that they are en route. But 25 meters is still the max for nearby medics, so if there are medics inside a radius of 25 meters from you, you will always be able to see this. But if there's an incoming medic that is further away than these 25 meters, you now will get the notification earlier that he's on your way. Going on further with the medic trend is that players are able to hold on for longer in a man down state, with the timer being increased from 21.33 seconds to 25.6 seconds, which is a slight change, but it helps a lot. And the other way around, people are also able to bleed out faster in a man down state. First, if you held down the bleed out button, it would take you a minimum of 3.5 seconds to bleed out, which now has been changed to 2.5 seconds. Then there are some more map and mode fixes, with one being that there was an issue which caused the near end of round music to play during the entire round, which I myself noticed yesterday for the first time, and it was really annoying, so I'm already happy that this has been fixed. There are also a fair amount of Firestorm changes, with one being that there now is a new point of interest, the dome. Some of you might have seen the trailer for it, but I'll play it in the background either way. And if you selected weapon skins for your weapons, these player selected weapon skins will be applied to weapons that you find within Firestorm. And the Commando Carbine, the VGO MMG and the LSM26 LMG are also now added to Firestorm. A final change to Firestorm is that ammo and health interaction icons at a distance have been added, which is always some good quality of life improvement. Then there are some changes for Squad Conquest, Frontlines, Airborne and Rush that I don't necessarily want to go over, except for the point that for Frontline and Rush, the arm and disarm times have been changed, together with the bomb fuse times to reflect the settings from Battlefield 3. So the arm time now has been decreased from 4 seconds to 2.5, and the disarm time has been set to 5 seconds, which before was somewhere between 5 and 10 seconds. And together with this, the fuse time has decreased from 30 seconds to 25, which when you planted the bomb, you will just be a bit earlier with destroying it if no one defuses it. Also, the arm and disarm interaction radius has been changed to be appropriate for the objective size. So there will be a big radius for you to defuse in for the artillery cannons, but a small radius for the MCOM stations. Which means that the player can't arm or disarm the MCOM from 8 meters away anymore. Then there are some rebuild changes for maps like Aerodrome Devastation, Fiel and Narvik, but another noticeable change to a game mode is for Frontlines. Because when there is a free flag layout, the flag capture time has been increased from 60 to 75 seconds. With a 5 flag layout, the flag capture time has been increased from 45 to 60 seconds. And with a 7 flag layout, the flag capture time has been increased from 30 to 50 seconds. Which all has to do with the spectacle known as objective ping pong, and if any of you have ever played Frontlines, you will exactly know what that feels like. Layout changes have mostly occurred within Team Deathmatch, and specifically on Aerodrome, Devastation, Fjell and Narvik as said before. Frontlines had some changes but not all too much, and to finish it up there are some UI, HUD, options, assignments and other fixes. With one of them being that the requirements for the LS26 Proficiency 5 and 6 assignments have been corrected, even though I myself at this moment am at the LS26 Proficiency 6 assignment, but I haven't seen any changes yet. Maybe they might be internally, but that I don't know. To round all of these changes up, the Wilhelm Franke Elite has had a name change after all of the feedback that it received and is now called Wilhelm Tannenstadt. There are some changes that I didn't cover in this video, but I will leave a link to the full patch notes down below. I went over all of the most noticeable changes that you really need to know, but if you want to be more precise on these changes, I advise you to go down into the description and click the link. That's all I have for now, and as always, I hope to see you in the next video.